a joke. It's a little one. Here's your chance to get some Adam.
Everyone can agree that it's at least okay, right?
I think it's really okay.
It's better than okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's fucking incredible.
Okay, yeah, that's what I really think, yeah. I think it's great.
Well, how far are you right now?
I'm not that far. I just defeated my first and second Big Daddy. When I think back on it, it felt like it was kind of like a battle of attrition, mostly shooting it with bullets and stuff. And I figured it would probably be like that in the beginning of the game until you have more powers and you can start, mixing and matching. But I realized that it was sort of environmental how I killed it, because I, hit it with flames, hit it with bullets, and then got it to go stand in a puddle of water and used a electric shotgun blast to kill it. I said earlier, it feels like Metroid meets Half-Life 2 to me for some reason.
Yeah, I keep telling whenever someone asks me about it, like how I feel about the game. I haven't felt about a game like this since Super Metroid.
You got it! Should be smooth sailing from here. I'll meet you up ahead.
Well, one of the things that the game does have a little bit of backtracking in it, which is why I would say that it's kind of like Metroid, but it's like, it feels to me like the good kind of backtracking, where it's like, you get a key and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that I gotta go back to that one spot where there was that locked door, you know what I mean?
And it's mostly backtracking between, like, the area that you're in.
I don't know the Metroid comparison, because you're still early. I can see why you said it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think if you, as a whole, I don't know if Metroid's the right comparison to make, except for maybe the moody atmosphere.
Now you've had the pleasure of Andrew Ryan's company. He's the one who built this place, and he's the one who ran it into the ground. Nobody knows exactly what happened. Maybe he went mad. Maybe the power got to him. Maybe he just decided he didn't like people.
When you watch a great movie, I kind of wish I could erase my memory of it so I could experience it for the first time. And Bioshock is kind of like, man, I wish I didn't play it because I want to play it again for the first time and experience it for the first time.
It's one of those games. It's one of those things.
We've liked plenty of great games in the past, but they're all fun to play, where this one is like an experience, like on top of everything, on top of being fun.
You kind of can play it again, like, not entirely new, but to do like the different like moral choices and the different ways of playing it with different weapons and magic.
Totally.
We tricked you, monster. You made me! You made me! Coward! Don't run!
It's a pretty long game.
Yeah.
It's not like a 8-hour adventure. Like it took me about 22 hours.
I was about the same.
Yeah, and I was like pretty thorough. I was like, I had to check out search every corpse, every ashtray, every trash can. And the worst is you go into a room when there's like 18 crates, and then like you're like, I can't walk away without checking every one, and it's like 90%. They're 90% empty.
That's a tribute to like how compelling everything about the game is.
Yeah.
Like you need to search everything out. You need to listen to all the recordings. You need to do everything. You need to experience everything about it.
You keep an eye peeled for Steinman. The daft bastard set up shop in the surgery wing. You want to find him? Just follow the blood.
Adam presents new problems for the professional. As your tools improve, so do your standards. There was a time I was happy enough to take off a wart or two, or turn a real circus freak into something you can show in the daylight, but that was then, when we took what we got. But with Adam, the flesh becomes clay.
But what you mentioned about those radio diaries, they're so unimportant, but they're so like they
Supplemental.
yeah, they add to the story, and
Right.
you just get kind of like that much more involved in the world and what's happening. You could see where it's all building up to and how the society kind of had this downfall, and I'm just like amazed from like, even we're talking about the aesthetics, like every little look and sound of everything in the game, like even the hacking devices, the security bots, the menus, it feels like someone made this game back in this era. Like this is like a real world, like they thought it all through every step of the way, and there's nothing that ever took me out of the experience at all.
I'm really surprised at how quickly and how consistently you get new powers and new power-ups. Like almost right after the demo stage ends, you start like continually getting new plasmids. And I think when they were showing off this game, everyone kind of figured that there would just be one range of powers, plasmids, and that would be all you would get. But it's not. You get different types of upgrades for upgrades that make you enable you to hold more health or more Eve, or upgrades that make you better at wielding your wrench.
And
Or
you're always going to have more plasmids than you can equip.
Right.
You're always going to have like 6 slots per category. So
Right.
that's how the customization comes in. That's how like you personalize the experience.
the demo area in particular, even Jeremy had written about how he felt like it was kind of a linear path. Ken Levine has promised that the game opens up at the end, so does it? I mean, does it feel like you are actually exploring more, or is it leading you down one path?
I would say narratively, the game is very linear, but like the hall that you're going down is really wide.
Right.
So as you're going down this hall, you can go zigzag kind of back and forth between the areas, between the powers. You can go back and forth, and the enemies respawn all the time, but it makes sense where they respawn and how they respawn. So you're always engaged in it.
Yes, the artist knows there is richer earth to till.
And where the game seems less linear is like anytime you enter like a apartment complex or some kind of building where a lot of different people live in. There's always this giant arrow, and it's a really good arrow because it's like there are times where I'm like, where am I supposed to go next? And I'm trying to ignore the arrow.
I actually turned it off, so
Yeah, you can't turn it off.
Yeah, you can go into the menu and turn it off, and so I just figured I would like it better that way. So I haven't been playing with the arrow turned off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the arrow is kind of like it doesn't just point at the objective; it tells you where to turn. It's like a GPS system, so it's actually kind of helpful, and the game kind of holds your hand, but not to the point where it annoyed me. It's always like, you know what, like we're gonna give you enough help that you're never lost and you're never wondering what to do next. There's the objective that the arrow will tell you to go to, or you can just break up and say, I'm gonna explore this room, or or like this hotel room, and I'm gonna go check this out and break into this room and search around.
Whoa, have you come to my town? To my town?
I played through the demo something like 4 times before I finally got the game. And one of the times, the other evening, one of my friends was over. Now, she's a fan of survival horror games, Silent Hill, all that stuff. But she's not very good at playing first-person shooters. But I thought this game is so awesome. I really think you're gonna like it. Why don't you give the demo a try? Put it on easy and let's see how it goes.
How do you like that, sister? Now, would you kindly find a crowbar or something?
And the adaptive hint system is really, really, really well put together, especially when you consider how the death works with the Vita Chamber respawning, and so you pretty much never feel too punished for dying.
So did she like it then?
She did. She was really into it. She ended up like getting all the way through. I mean, I could tell right away that she, doesn't do dual analog control that much.
Right.
The hints kept getting progressively better as time went by, and I was like, wow, that's really clever. With that GPS like arrow and these hints, anyone's gonna be able to play it.
Unless you're easily frightened,
Yeah.
because it is a scary game. And that's the one thing like I talked about in my review, that I don't know if the game gets enough credit for being scary. Like, because people talk about this, the graphics look great and it's this immersive world, but it's like it's really a creepy game. There's always something kind of weird, or a corpse set up in this way that it just makes you wonder what happened in this room before.
The sound design is what I think really deserves the credit for making the game so scary. And that's, maybe not so strangely, the last game that really scared me as much as this game was System Shock 2, another game by Ken Levine. And because they have the same people coming back to work on the sound design in this game, I mean, it's incredible. Voices, weird ambient sound effects, and even the music, they're all really just like really well done.
So there's this theater district. These splicers like jump in at you, and there's a ton of them. They're coming at you, and all of a sudden it kicks in like Waltz of the Flowers, Tchaikovsky, from the Nutcracker.
Nice.
And you're oh my god, this is like ballet music. Instinctively, I switch to my shotgun, and like it's on, and I'm dancing around the level to the classical music. This is an action scene, and I'm making it as I go along.
What's so surprising to me is how polished it is, and how good it looks and sounds and plays and everything. I mean, it's just such a polished experience, and it comes out of this what I would consider kind of a tiny development house. And I can't wait to see what they do next now. I mean, Bioshock 2, maybe a same style game, completely different world. That would be awesome.
Give me a pick, and I'll get you out of there. Moira, can you hear me in there, darling?
So dark in here. If only your friend could look up and see. Maybe you could warn him. If only you could do something, anything. Except just stand here and watch him die.
In a couple weeks, we're going to Leipzig. We're going to Germany. I'm going to Germany like a week and a half. Yeah, are you going to be there?
No, because I basically have to stay here to promote the movie, and I will be only 10 days in Germany to promote Postal and in England, and the rest I will focus on North America.
Postal's coming out here in October. You said it's coming out like a limited release. Why is it a limited release when it's coming out here?
How big it is basically not in my hands. Exhibitors, they book it or they don't book it, and there's a lot of facts like basically they can play into it. Like if the competition is too big, if all the theaters are booked, whatever. But we hope we're getting like 700-800 screens.
So you talked about like you wanted to make like a political statement with Postal. Like, what kind of political statement do you think you're making with Postal exactly?
Oh, there are different ones, right? So first, I think Postal is a statement against censorship. It's a statement about that you start seeing it, and a lot of people are offended. And we did a test with Postal in Orange County with a normal audience, and we had the highest exit quote ever in a test screening. So where like 40% of the people went out and they said like, I'm really offended. I cannot believe it.
Right.
So, but we had also 30% of the people, they say, this was the best comedy I saw in the last 5 years. So you have like a totally split audience with Postal. You have the people that really say, this is what I was waiting for the whole time. And you have the people, they say, I'm totally offended. And I want, the message is also, you should ask yourself, like, why I'm offended now? Why we can hack people in pieces in movies like Saw or Hostel, but if I show a Dave fully naked, I'm offended. Or I shoot a child, I'm offended. But I shoot 50 adults, I'm not offended. So there is a lot of stuff what is kind of a statement. And the other thing is a political statement. I think it shows how fucked up the politic right now is.
So like, if your movie comes out and your studio says you have to take out that 9/11 scene, well, you said that they want to take that out. So like, what do you do in response to that?
No, but there are scenes you can compromise and scenes you cannot compromise. And the opening of the movie you cannot compromise. You cannot cut it out. It stays. And then you have to go for the higher rating. You have to go for the less screens because you cannot cut the movie totally in a way that it makes no sense anymore. And that the edge is out. The whole point is, I think for a movie like Postal, it is good if we have people walking out and they are offended, because this was the reason also to do it. If everybody would be happy and you have like 85% of the people sitting there and they say, oh yeah, Postal was entertaining, but you cut it all the edgy stuff out, you would lose the basic point why I made that movie.
Why use 9/11? Of all things to use, why use 9/11?
No, because look, first of all, I think 9/11 is now a long time ago. And the second thing is that 9/11 was the most horrible, hardest terror attack ever, right? But what America, the Bush government made out of 9/11 is shabby. And this is the thing why I make fun out of it now, because I think it is in a way, it turned into something what is an insult for also the victims. It's not like I don't insult the victims. I think they were used from the Bush government to basically justify a completely senseless invasion in Iraq. What has nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, nothing to do with a terror attack.
And so is that kind of the view from there? Like, is that like commonly in Germany, like is that how people like view American? Like you're kind of bringing that view
because
forward?
The thing was where Germany was approached to join the forces to go to Iraq. I think our government sucked also, but they made one thing right. They really checked it out, and they said Saddam Hussein is a dictator, but he had nothing to do with that attacks, and we don't do that war. We don't go in that war, and I think this was very good. And another thing, what I should mention is the ex-chancellor Schröder. He wrote his biography now, and he wrote he was alone with Bush in a room, totally alone, no translator, nothing. And Bush told him, God told me to start the Iraq war. And like that serious.
So why video games?
Out of his mind.
Why video games? Why Postal? I mean, you hear about these things. You hear the like documentaries, stuff like that. Like, why is Postal the thing that brings you forward to say this kind of statement?
No, I think Postal was the perfect game. Because it's I think banned in 30 territories. It didn't find even good distribution in America. They all self-distribute. And this is, for example, the first thing what now the distributor comes, cut the September 11 shots out, then Walmart will take the DVD. Don't lose that opportunity. Postal, the game, is so politically incorrect, and that it was the best foundation for a movie like this.
So like talk about Far Cry. Like what you just finished principal photography on Far Cry.
Yeah.
Postal is very different from the game. You kind of took what it believed in and ran with it.
Right.
So is Far Cry more like the game, or like what should we expect from that?
Yeah, Far Cry is basically I think the movie closest to the game I ever did. Like so, I think.
Why so?
Because Jack Carver and he rents his boat out to the journalist. She goes to the island. She tries to find out what's going on with Dr. Krieger. His boat gets destroyed. He's really pissed about it. This is a story. What you have in that game, what you could do 1-to-1, you could use it. And a lot of games don't have that. House of the Dead has no story.
So are you work like? Do you still want to work with games, or like I know you have Seed coming out soon? Are you just working with games, or is there what else are you working on right now?
I did Tunnel Rats. What is a Vietnam War movie? Very hard movie, maybe my hardest movie I did, and Seed, it's a horror movie. And we actually developed on our own a video game, Tunnel Rats. And Seed is a horror movie. It's like the bitter, depressed brother of Postal, where it's also like kind of an apocalyptic ending. And but now I don't shoot anymore. The next 8-9 months I will promote my movies and finish my movies.
Taking a break,
and I don't shoot another movie till summer next year.
Trying to get Postal into those theaters as much as you can.
Absolutely. Don't miss Postal. This is the most important movie from all my movies.
Come pet the cat.
Do the math. This had 1 billion bits. Like
What the hell is that?
Oh my god.
Why is the logo over there?
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is...
Yikes.
Holy
To
shit,
be-
look at these
to be
guys.
added
I think you should pick Freaky. Stress.
I want to be Mason Stress.
Gruff and Scrappy. Scrappy misspelled. Scrape bombs. Twitch. Rabies.
I'm not gonna be the white people. They can't jump.
Be Burger and stop, dude.
All right. Populous.
This is good so far. Oh, we're in the park.
Whoa, scaling. Whoa.
Wow.
This is incredible.
Holy
And
shit.
checkers. They pressed every button on the effects board.
Oh, the music's pretty sweet, man. Hear that bass?
Banged.
What? Huh?
Hacked.
What's
I
happening?
like the rainbow font.
We're in a beautiful, like, country club setting.
Is this reminding anybody of the hit feature film White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
How so?
Oh, yeah.
I'm that Puerto Rican chick. I want a screw, Billy!
Maybe that's her on the sideline.
This game uses up to 50 fonts.
It said that right on the box, too.
Nearly 50 fonts.
Take it back.
I don't want to take it back. I'm just gonna fucking shoot
Yeah,
it.
just shoot it right there.
Bang.
Banged.
It's off. You know, it's a
I
really
think
good
I own some of
idea.
these fonts.
It was a great idea to have a huge word
Holy fuck, that guy dunked from the 3-point line.
straight to the cup.
And he was white.
He was white. That was Chump. Bang up time on the flip top.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not from the streets. Schooled That seems to indicate points.
Oh, I will
sweet.
say, this doesn't look that bad for a Jaguar game. Really?
That's the most backhanded compliment.
I've seen far worse.
That was a line from the movie, I think.
Was it?
What's that? That had to hurt.
Hard work being
That's
good.
gonna leave a mark.
Fucking
I'm getting too old for this shit.
use the force.
I'll be back. Whoa!
That's right. You give me that dollar again and again.
Those are hundreds, dude.
Oh man, those are you call those Benjamins on the street.
That was a microtransaction just now. On the Xbox Live Arcade version, you actually have to spend real money when that happens.
I tried, Shane.
Do I have to?
Yeah. This is a real triumph of effects. Look at these logos and things spin around.
I don't want to hold this.
It's too late.
Hey, I designed the game. We couldn't afford a model,
Wait,
see?
is that David Faustino on the left? Of Married to Children?
I'm not.
Uncredited cameo?
I'm not pushing a button to get this off the TV. Oh, damn it! I was going to watch that for like an hour.
Wait, we should make a different level. This one looks pretty good.
That's clearly the streets. Oh, the mean suburbs. You guys want
Which one am I?
fucking play some basketball and go to Best Buy?
Where am I? What am I?
I'm gonna be the soccer mom here. Their orange slacks. Or
Soccer Moms Can Jump. That was the sequel to this movie. It didn't do quite as well.
If she wins, she goes and buys a nice pair of slacks.
Billy, I want a screw! I love your slacks, Billy!
Oh, man.
Which button's the turbo button? This is how I play.
Yeah.
First I take it back.
First you punch,
and then I scold M.
On the street, you banged all the time.
I wonder how many people who made this game were white.
With the street slang in this game, there's no way those people are white.
But
Because I can't understand a thing,
Well, actually,
and it's because we're white.
I read about this game, and this game was the project. They got a bunch of ex-Blood, ex-Crips in LA together to come together and make this game. It was like a community outreach project.
They probably picked the rainbow font.
They did.
It says freakdom.
Oh, man.
Alright, I'm putting in some codes.
Dude, I unlocked crappy graphics mode. Look.
It's hard to believe Jaguar failed with games like this.
I remember when they said they were making this game, like all the people on the White Man Can't Jump message boards
Oh, they were going crazy.
and IRC message boards were so nuts.
Usenet was ablaze.
Yeah.
All the fan fiction.
The
they were
streets were crazy.
Story.
Wait, yeah, I think we won.
I think Shaq wrote it himself.
Hey, I was just hanging out at a Pepsi corner. Wait, downtown Tokyo? That looks like China.
Is this?
No, I've been to Tokyo. That's exactly what the Orient looks like.
God damn, there's Pepsi everywhere in Tokyo.
This is the height of Shaq's deal. I'm about to see some Reeboks in a second. Greetings, big warrior. I've not seen many black people. I like that while we're reading, we're not talking. I'm surprised if my lips aren't moving.
You must be 20 Pepsi tall.
See, when the Chinese guy talks, or the Japanese, sorry, it's yellow. That's a good message. That's
Yeah, but when Shaq's talking, it's white. What does that mean?
If it was black, you wouldn't be able to read it or understand it.
Where am I?
Oh, so you're making yourself sound.
Shaq imitation.
I'm making myself sound like Shaq.
Okay. I think we have some issues we might have to work through later. Aren't you from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
There's an overworld map.
There is an overworld map. It's basically Zelda 2 with different sprites. That's all Shaq Fu is. Wait. He just like went to this world and all of a sudden he's
guy's
like,
got a jersey on too.
Talking shit already.
Is Shaq traveling through time?
Oh, I got confused. I thought I was the other guy.
They look so alike.
I was like, I'm fighting this big black guy. It's like living in Detroit.
Alright, say what you want about Shaq Fu. I'm sorry. It has good animation. It looks like flashback.
Seems a little
Delphine
floaty.
software.
They're fucking as wire fighting, dude.
What's wrong with Shaq's face?
He's turned into
Looks
Mikasa
like
Jr.
Uncle Fester. Yeah. What the hell?
It's Iron Eagle 3 the game.
Beating his mouth open like.
When Shaq gets hurt, he grows a mustache?
I think that's a pretty good explanation
Big,
for
rich
what happens
mustache.
when you get a mustache. Fucking you get hurt.
Harsh words. You gonna take that?
No, I'm gonna go to a
You
different.
gonna take that?
I'm gonna go to a different world map.
All right.
I'm gonna jump the ravine.
You cannot afford this.
You're inventing your own more entertaining game
Gargoyle.
than Shaq Fu.
Bring on the gargoyle.
It's meant.
He's gonna slap you.
Whatever. I'll throw my basketball back.
You have the Fury.
I have Fury.
Look at Shaq. Shaq's face when he has the Fury, it just kind of, it does not look like he has the Fury. It looks like he has something stuck in his mouth.
Have you never
and
had the
something
Fury?
dirty.
Have you never had a case of the Fury?
You should stick with the moves that hurts.
Shaq looking away dejected.
That's right.
He should come back with, I won 3 championships. How many have you won, Gargoyle?